stream the road. Waiting on the stream the road. What's going on? Why it's not coming up? There it is. They found it. Shit, come on. What the hell? Okay, good Monday Eve and welcome to the Monday Night Coaches Show. Okay, good Monday Eve and welcome to the Monday Night Coaches Shows and also the Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer Show. We'll have Monday Night Coaches Shows, LSU. Will Wade will be on momentarily, and also Coach David Keeper. That will be video feed from YouTube. So we will have those those feeds simulcast here to Sportscaster. So if you're here, thanks for joining us for Monday, February 24th, Mardi Gras Eve. So tomorrow is Mardi Gras. So please, everybody, if you're going out to parade tomorrow in the city or wherever, please be careful. So we'll be on in just a second with the Monday Night Coaches Show. So let me go ahead and put the videos on, so you'll be up and running. So we'll have the Southeastern Coaches Show up.
Assistant coaches for Southeastern, Riley Conroy and Dean Baumler. But we'll take a quick break. We'll come back and hear from Coach Schulte as we talk a lot more about Saturday's hard-fought but tough loss
in Gainesville. So stay with us. We're just underway. Coach Will Wade is
What do you
here.
love
He'll
most
join us
about
next.
being a student athlete
Will
at
Wade
Southeastern?
Show, presented by Hancock Whitney here on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Okay, once again, the Coaches Show. So we'll be back on in just a few minutes. Commercial break. So thanks for joining us here tonight for a Monday Night Coaches Show and also Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer Show. That will begin at 8 p.m. after tonight's show.
Once we graduate, I know we'll always be friends. We'll always see each other. We'll always come back and visit.
Kids Club, presented by Main Event. Hey, Tiger fans, Kids Club, presented by Main Event. For a one-time fee of just $20, you can get the official Mike's Kids Club t-shirt, color magnet, free admission to select LSU home athletic events, and special events exclusively for club members. Come join Mike and be a part of his club. For more information, log on to lsumkc.com. Mike's Kids Club, presented by Main Event. Kids Club, presented by Main Event.
Take it in. This SEC and its uncommon majesty.
So once again, thanks for joining us. Will the Great, thanks for joining us.
The hype and the hope.
I appreciate you coming in.
Astounding, the sounding of packed
So
stadiums,
we'll be back on in just a few seconds.
Take it in. The color of density, the intensity, just stand and be.
And also
in this place,
Will
the
Wade from
birthplace
LSU.
of war. Take it in. This SEC and its uncommon majesty. Rare is a place where everything means everything. The hype and the hope, confounding and astounding, the sounding of packed stadiums, shaking concrete. Take it in. The color of density, the intensity, just stand and be. Here, in this place, the birthplace of war.
Back with more on the Will Wade Show, presented by Hancock Whitney. Live from TJ
on the road
Ribs.
recruiting
Got a
with
question
Coach
for the
Mark
coach?
Hickman, but,
The phone lines
let's dive right
are
into it,
open.
Coach Schulte.
Now, again, here is your host, Chris
Take a look at
Blair.
talking about a team that comes in reigning conference tournament champions, a very
Back here at TJ Ribs on a Monday night, final three shows. Will Wade Show starts tonight. They'll all be on Monday.
We played at their place, losing
7 p.m.
76-55. Got down in that game by as many as 32
and
points.
happy to welcome into
Then
the
come
show
back
once again
against
our head
them last
basketball
Saturday, this
coach,
past
Will
Saturday,
Wade. And
and
Coach,
battled them for 40
congrats.
minutes.
I know
what
you were
was the
pleased
biggest
with
thing
the effort
that
and
you
the
saw
win
different
last
in that
Saturday.
game?
Wasn't a perfect game overall.
Leading up to the game that
but I
week
know
really
you challenged
challenged us
this
with two
team to
things.
match the
One, the
physicality
turnover
of the
battle. They beat us by 9
especially
last
on
time.
the road.
The first game, I
And
believe,
for the
we had
most part in
6
that game, the
24
guys
turnovers, and we only forced them into 15, so they were plus 9.
We had as much fun in Columbia as you did.
The second thing was points in the paint.
Yeah, no, I had a
plus
great time.
20 points in the paint.
That's not always.
I knew you would.
So we told our guys going into
I'm
the
actually
game,
looking forward to
if we
Gainesville.
can
You're
tighten
not.
up those two things.
Absolutely not.
It's not going to guarantee anything.
But we did, we played better.
Right
We played
there
with
at the end where we can make some plays.
more physicality. It's like a
thing that I like, and it was on display.
We're not going to turn into Virginia overnight
is for
defensively. That
27
wasn't the
games
goal.
and throw the record out
But
the
we need
window.
to be,
This team's
5 to
perimeter
10%
defense,
better,
I feel
which would be
has
an extra
been
3 or 4 stops.
every single night. I'm sure you and the
we
coaching
were
staff can look at some
much
games
better
where it could have been
and
better,
much
some things
improved,
you could have done differently. But the
especially
effort
until
that
the
you're
last
getting guarding the ball, and I think it
2.5,
starts
3
with
minutes
Preston
when
Byron Smith, who's just been sensational.
things got a little,
He's been all
things got a little haywire after 12. Hannibal
all defensive
hit a
team,
second three of the entire
player.
season.
I mean, talk about just how much this team on the perimeter defensively has a chance to really kind of be the staple for this team moving forward.
I thought
everybody's really
overall
bought into what we're trying to do
it was a
defensively.
good step forward.
It's no secret that we are a little
good step forward
undersized
for us
in the post. I
we
mean,
certainly
Pop is our starting 5 and he's 205 pounds. So we try to tell our bigs and our guards especially that our best post defense is our perimeter defense. And what we mean by that is if we have good ball pressure, we're really heating up the defense around
one of our better
making it
games,
tough on
particularly
them.
defensively.
They can't
We
just
were
sit
locked
back
in.
and
I
make
thought we
those
were
easy post entries. So we
That's what I
try to
talked to
help
the
our
team
bigs
about.
out as much as we can because we
Offensively,
are
we're
asking
very
them to do a lot
aggressive
every
and
night.
we're
Pop's
very
giving up 40,
attacking. We
50,
get in the paint,
60,
we
70
get
pounds,
downhill.
whatever he's guarding.
We're an aggressive bunch offensively.
And we think everybody's really bought into
We have
that
to be
and really
defensively as well.
really
We're way
dialed
too
into what we're trying to
passive,
do defensively.
in my opinion.
Before we get
defensively.
into the rest of the ball game against Abilene Christian, which the second half to me was thrilling to watch all 20 minutes of it, even though we didn't come out on the right end of the result. But
Trendon made some big time defensive plays.
Vaughn Julian, the lone senior on this team. So obviously, this team, Coach Keefe, everybody, I mean, he would like to have had a better senior season as far as the results have gone. But to me, he's going to be a guy that we're going to be able to look back on in about 2 or 3 years and say that guy really helped lay the foundation for this team because of his leadership. I mean, talk about what you learned
last week we talked on the show
learned about him. Just in the 1 year you got
between the lines. We talked about X's and O's. We talked about what you wanted to do offensively and defensively. But we also touched on the mental aspect
not this
of
year,
the game.
obviously, but in 2 or 3
coming up, we're
more
going to talk
years
about
when
some
you
of the
got
things the Tigers
Isaiah
did to
and
improve
Nick
on the
and
win.
Mox and Byron. Now they're
in the win
juniors,
on the road. But how big
and
could that
them
win
being able
be
to learn from
moving
him and how to
forward
go
to
about your
get
business
that
and how to be
confidence and
coachable
swagger
and
back?
work
Because
every
one
day.
thing about this team, they weren't
Vaughn's a
perfect
student of the
in
game.
the
He
start
wants to
to
coach
the
when he's done
SEC.
playing. He's going to
But
be a
they
great
did have
coach.
that
The
confidence
struggles
about
he's
them going
going
into
through
every
now
game.
are going to ultimately help
you've
him
got to
coach.
get that back. You've got to walk up
Because you're going to have years like this. It's not all going to be
this is where we are. This is reality.
There's going to be some bumps in the road, and this is just going to help him develop
we're like
even more
a lot of other teams
into a more well-rounded coach.
We've got a very good team.
It's that time for him.
And I like what you said on the show. I want to say last week or 2 weeks ago, and you said if winning was easy,
last year,
it would be fun.
We showed up and we played
that's what's going to make this so much more fun for us moving forward. But another quick note on Vaughn Julian, ladies and gentlemen, of course, he will be honored Saturday for Senior Day, and he ranks number 9 all time in Southland Conference program history.
Everything has to be heightened a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. That's how
that right there just tells you about his unselfish play. And Coach, he's done that.
But
2 seasons.
we've got to
breaks in the top 10 and has only played 60 games.
Yeah, you would have to think. What would he do if he had 4? He might help hold our school record. I know he averages
quite
right
frankly,
around 6
I
a
let
game.
some of our habits slip.
He's always willing to make that extra pass and always looking to get somebody else going. Doesn't really worry about himself scoring.
Habits slip.
He tried to do a little bit of that to start the year because he felt like he had to, and it was just us reiterating to him, we don't need you to be Superman to win, just be who you are, be rock solid, be that leader for us, and he's done a really good job with that.
Yeah, I mean, he really does a great job gaming the game out of playing, I guess, y'all's game plan. Sometimes it does require where he takes 10, 12 shots, sometimes only takes 2 or 3 shots, I believe, if I look at the box score, if you got it in front of you, I think
you've got
it's 2
plenty of
shots.
time to get on the line.
Just his
Coach
presence
Will
on the
Wade got a
floor
question
makes
for the
this
coach,
team better.
225-578-4827
Let's go to the second half.
here in Baton Rouge.
So we're down 42-28.
Toll free 1-800-315-8255
All the reason in the world for this
from
team
anywhere
to go
in the
in
country. And let's go to Charlie. Charlie, ready to go out of the gate on a Monday night from Lafayette. Charlie, what you got for Coach Wade?
Going away.
All right.
The exact opposite happened. We come out and score the first 8 points in the second half, and I'm going to bring some to you down the road. What was Coach Keeper's message?
Yeah. Well,
Coach was real positive with him. It was just
I want to say,
fighting for those first 4 minutes. We
big
felt like if we could win the first 4 minutes, beat them by 4, 6, 8, tighten the game up a little bit, and then from there, we'll just play and see what happens. So we really challenged them to win that first 4 minutes, and they responded well.
Wrap up a double
top game at
because I did a little
64.
figuring yesterday,
And we go into
if
the
it
final
was
media
today,
timeout,
y'all
and
third
you know,
team playing,
was it more about the
Mississippi
experience? I mean, it just seemed like they made a
in there,
couple
but
big
if you
plays
win
here
out,
and there, maybe
I
got to a
think you'll
loose
be
ball,
another
and before you
big
knew
team,
it,
but
they
they
go on
know
an
way
11-0 run. How valuable
I
a
think
game
it's
like
all
this
funny
one
right
moving
now,
forward
and
to, like next
so
year,
as long as
I mean, because
I
obviously
did
this league's got a lot of
see
parity. We're going to play a lot of
on
games
TV,
just like that
and
in
I
the
think
next 2-3 years. How valuable is
playing on
a
8
game like
o'clock on
yesterday for
Wednesday
some
and
of
come
these
back at
freshmen?
11 on
Saturday.
Saturday.
There's no question with like you talked about Abilene, they're a very disciplined
I think
veteran team. That's one of the last years we've been there before.
I think you can be the
They've been in
number
those
2 seed in
situations a little
the
more than us,
SEC
and they
tournament.
perform
So,
well in those situations. So we're getting that experience where
I have total
we're
faith and
understanding what it
confidence in
means
the
to be
team,
in that
and I think
situation.
y'all gonna make it
Now we just
happen.
have to keep on building on that.
I hope you're right, Charlie. I appreciate it. I know you'll be there at 11 a.m. on Saturday.
It makes it so much easier
Oh,
to
hell
believe.
yeah, I'll be there.
That's why I love it, Charlie. That's what I like.
A lot about the young guys.
That's
and the
right. I'm
freshmen.
gonna be there.
I know you'll
be
be there. You'll be ready to go.
be,
You'll be ready to go. Our team will be ready to go too. We'll be ready to go on Wednesday night
has been Nick
against
Caldwell again. 11 points and 8 rebounds, but he was a big part of
Florida
sparking that
and
late run. I mean,
A&M are two of the hottest teams in the league. I don't know if that's in your notes there, but they are.
An
I think
engine
Florida's won 4 out
that
of
never
5,
stops, and his versatility. I mean, I think
obviously
Coach Keefe was knocked out of the park.
had some big wins.
Oh, no question. And I'm going to give Vaughn more credit for this because Nick had been struggling a few games, and Vaughn was giving Nick a little bit of a hard time because Nick kept wearing black socks with all white shoes. And Vaughn told him very, very well to do that. And then so I had to piggyback off Vaughn and kind of get on board with what Vaughn was saying. Basketball, we're going to play good with black socks and white shoes. So now since he switched to white socks with white shoes, he's had 3 straight games of double digits, and he's kind of turned the corner. But now we talked about before Nick started the year was
being fired up here
the flashes
down the stretch.
and every freshman's got those growing pains. He went through a little hole, and now he's finishing very strong. The sky's the limit for Nick.
Get you going. Charlie, make sure you bring Chris the gumbo.
So much more than just shooting deep 3
You know,
balls.
Coach, I was making my way over here listening to Patrick Wright and Nicky Fargas.
Very
And one of the
well-rounded
things
player,
that we
so
talked about a
versatile,
couple
can
of
guard
times on this
basically
show
2
is
through
the
5.
men's basketball
Sky's
team,
the
as
limit
Coach Fargas
for
said,
Nick. He's gonna be a really good player.
partnering
So
with
does the
LSU
Black
women's
Sox thing
basketball
work
team
for
in the
every
2020 Play
profession?
for
Because
K
right now
National
I'm
Free
wearing
Throw
Black
Challenge
Sox with
to raise money to help
tennis
provide
shoes,
What color
red
shoes?
pants,
to the
white
underserved
shoes, but
Yeah, you
through
would
Our
have
Lady of the
to.
Lake Hospital and the Mary Bird Perkins.
Riley,
And the
we get
reason
him
is
a pair of
because I've
shoes.
Again,
only
fans, you can help by pledging a donation for every free throw made during our 9 games in February. Still some time left. For more information, visit lsusports.net/.
The Abilene
Challenge,
Christian
and I know it's important to you. You
right
jumped on board.
today.
Dede Bro and LSU Gymnastics jumped on board.
Over the last
and
3.5
LSU
minutes,
is shooting some free throws. It was good to see them shoot some free throws this past Saturday.
Standpoint to
Yeah,
that
was positive.
Okay,
We shot them pretty well too.
Indeed.
Which was even better.
Part of
We
that
made
last
enough.
4 minutes.
We made enough down the stretch. We made the front ends of our 1-on-1.
Yeah, after the game, there's always not just those last 3 minutes, but as a coach, when you watch all 40 minutes, every possession, if you scored, you could have done this better. If you didn't score, you could have done this different, and you would have scored. So every single possession, there's one thing that you're like, man, if we just did that, we would have got that stop. Or if we
Pile
just
up
would have
some
did
more
that,
free
we would have
throws
scored that basket.
down at Florida.
So it's easy to nitpick on those last 3 minutes,
Sounds
but
good to
really
me.
it's
And
all
again,
40
fans,
minutes.
if you'd like more information,
Possessions in the last 3 minutes were no different than a possession between the 8 and 5 minute mark in the first half, where maybe we didn't
on the
execute
Will
as good
Wade
as we
Show.
wanted
We're
to.
going to continue
Now,
to
if we
talk
clean up
about the
things
South
between that 8
Carolina
and 5
win,
minute mark,
and then we'll look ahead to those Florida Gators.
5 in that
Unfortunately,
situation
we
went
have
out
to
and
head
makes
to
the last 3
Gainesville,
minutes a little
Florida.
easier.
Coming up
because
tomorrow,
we're
play
not
on
down
Wednesday
6,
night, late
You know,
at 8 p.m. Central
We
Time.
left early tomorrow. I thought you'd be excited to get there
I
early.
wanted
We
to talk-
got plenty of time. We got the 9 p.m. Eastern tip.
That's
Full
right.
day to enjoy
Something
games.
So
else.
much to take in. We'll be back in a moment. Hear from TJ Ribs. It's the Will
And
Wade Show
obviously
on the
down the
LSU
stretch,
Sports
make
Radio
plays and
Network.
whatnot. But the game
Support
does not
your
change.
LSU Tigers with Hancock
So as
Whitney,
it does,
the official bank of LSU Athletics. From game day to the offseason,
The rules of the game
Hancock
don't
Whitney
change. It's all
LSU
up
credit
top. I
and
mean,
debit cards
you
are
know,
a big
how
win
over-
for any
I guess my
Tiger
question
fan.
is how over-
Want to get your paws on these cards?
40 minutes
Well,
the
apply
same way
online or
that
visit
I don't
HancockWhitney.com
know if I can say it's overnight, because there's certain
Hancock Whitney
times or
Bank,
certain
member
guys
FDIC.
who kind of clam
All
up and
accounts
tighten up
subject
late
to
in the game.
credit approval.
But if you can
Terms
get your
and
guys, I would
conditions
say
may apply.
the hard thing is getting your guys, these 17 to 21-year-olds, to understand
high-fiving a bar
that
full
a
of strangers
possession
would
with
be low
17
on my
minutes
list
left
of
in the
things
first
to do.
half is just
Hugging
as
my
valuable
pizza
as
guy
one
would be
45
weird,
seconds
and my
in the
brother and
second
I
half.
would have run out of
If
things
you
to
can
talk
get them
about
to
a long
believe in
time.
that,
Yep, our shared love for our team has
3 or 4 games ago pregame, talking to our guys,
we all
and I
know
told him
when
whoever
fans
plays
watch together,
the closest to 200
celebrate
minutes
together.
tonight will win.
And
Kirby's like, wait, we got 200, and he was trying to figure out how many minutes. I go, no, Kirby, we have 5 positions, 5 guys on the floor. Everybody plays 40 minutes. We have 200 minutes. So if the 1, 2, 4, and 5 play a full 40 minutes,
with the
and you
same
only play 30,
high-quality learning experiences found on campus, coupled with world-class dedicated customer service.
Whichever
You can
team
pursue an
plays
online
the closest
master's
to a
degree,
full
bachelor's
200
degree,
minutes,
associate's
regardless of
degree,
if it's
a
the last 4
certificate
minutes or the
program,
first
a
4 minutes.
microcred, or just take a short course. We have a
You were
full
going
team
to
of
be a head
personal
coach
concierges
at some
to help
point.
you
It's only
choose
a
the
matter of
path
time,
that's
but
right
I
for
enjoy
you.
listening
Learn more
to
at
feedback like
online.lsu.edu and
look
go
forward to
Tigers.
this week. So, real quick, fans, we're going to take
Another
a
policy
quick
from
break.
State Farm
We'll
gets
talk
you
more
collision
about
coverage.
the upcoming
And this
games
radio
this
ad
week
from
as
State Farm
Lions will
gets you
take on
coverage
the
of this
Case
beloved
Wednesday night
90s
on the
hit.
road at 6:30 and then Northwestern Saturday at home at 4. We'll talk more about those games when we return. This is Inside Southeastern Basketball from Rainbow Daiquiri.
It's gonna be okay.
The countdown to Katy has begun. The Southland Conference Basketball Tournament at the Merrill Center in Katy, Texas. Experience it live as Southland strong teams compete for a tournament title and a chance to go to the dance. It's affordable family fun and great college hoops action. Tickets for the Southland Conference Basketball Tournament are on sale through school ticket offices and Ticketmaster.com.
All of Rouse's King Cakes are baked right in the store. You can smell that sweet baking the minute you walk through the door at Rouse's, official supermarket of LSU.
University Center. Can't wait to see you.
Taking your calls and tweets for the coach. This is the Will Wade Show, presented by Hancock Whitney from the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Hanging out at TJ Ribs Monday night. It's the Will Wade Show, talking Fighting Tiger basketball. TJ Ribs, official barbecue restaurant of LSU Athletics. Remember, fans, open late after games. Located on Acadian Thruway, where we are each and every week, and Segan Lane. Coach, let's go back to the South Carolina game and what stood out to me. And I think Brady on the radio of the game Saturday was first swings and punches landed came from the Tigers. Skylar Mays, Darius Days came out swinging. Aggressive Skylar driving to the rim. Darius getting some inside-outside looks, and also some threes on threes. Just watching the game, South Carolina, and watching the bench and watching the players on the floor, they seemed to be a little surprised early that the energy and physicality was going to go both ways.
I'm not stopping.
Yeah, I thought we did a good job. We talked about being physical and trying to be the physical aggressors going into the game.
I'm not stopping.
Because South Carolina, that's what they do every game, and we're not always the most physical. We're not always the most physical bunch that you've ever run across, but we can do it when we need to, and when our guys are locked in and fired up and motivated to do it, we can certainly do it. And so it's my trick to find that action more often. But I thought we did a great job. We did a great job early on, spacing the floor and being able to drive them and attack them with the floor space. Their zone threw us off for a little bit there, but we finally got in rhythm against the zone and were able to get going against the zone. We're going to see some zone from Florida, so it's almost, South Carolina plays a 3-2, Florida plays a 3-2. It's a little bit of good practice for us playing against that 3-2 with South Carolina. But I did think we were more aggressive in attacking both offensively and defensively to start the game, which is what you want to do to set the tone on the road.
One of the
especially great environment too, man. Place
filled up right before.
A lot of our folks hadn't been there. We took a great crowd with us. Obviously, we had a lot of our tip-off club members that went with us, which was fun. I think it was 18,000 people packed in the place. It's a huge arena. I think it's partially owned by the city of Columbia. Is that right? It's a joint venture between the school and the city. They've hosted some NCAA tournament games. I mean, it was. I don't know what they said the attendance was, but it got loud in there when they got going on their run. It was loud. There's at least 16,000 people in there. So it was a great environment very good win for us, and I thought we did a good job for the most part of kind of taking the air out of the building and not allowing the crowd to get into the game and affect us as much because we kept a working margin most of the night.
I listened to Coach Frank Martin, who I really feel like, along with you, are some of the most transparent coaches in all of college basketball. And he said after the game that...
How'd you figure that?
I work with you.
Did you watch the press conference today?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I did.
What I would call pretty similar.
I'm not going to say anything else.
I haven't got the loose ball.
Yeah, no, I wasn't going to bring that up. I figured it would stand on its own from earlier today. Yeah. But Coach Martin came out after the game, and he basically said, hey, they matched us in physicality, and when they match us, any team matches us with that type of play, we have to hit shots, and we just didn't do it, and that was kind of the answer to the ballgame.
Yeah, Bolden, for them, 52 is an excellent shooter, and then Lawson, 0 is an excellent shooter. They, Kuznard, I think, made 1 or 2, and Hannibal, like I said, made his second 3 of the entire season against us. We did a pretty good job. I thought we set the tone. I thought the game was played mostly how we wanted it played or how we needed it to be played for us to win, and so that was critical for us being able to like I said, take their crowd out of it and force them to do some things that they don't want to do. They're not. When you think Frank Martin, you don't think zone. That's not the first thing that comes to your mind. Although they play a good zone, and he's been
to make it harder on
he's
him.
a very good zone coach, but
not give him
when you're able to force him to play a vast majority zone and a lot more zone than they play man.
Challenging our big
I think you've done a good job of kind of getting the game a little bit maybe more on your terms than their terms.
It was really good shot selection, which I think had a lot to do with the way the Gamecocks had to play defensively. You had timely threes for the most part. I think the ones that you can live with, even if you miss by your team. But
we like them a lot more when we make them.
I know, but you finished the night just under 45%, and that stat alone, for those who didn't look at the numbers, stands out to me. The Gamecocks had allowed just 40% field goal shooting inside their home arena. In fact, 38% in the SEC. So in other words, their defense was unable to stop the strengths of what LSU does offensively.
You've been with Coach Brady too long. That field goal stat.
It's very important.
Won the field goal stat. 44 to 37?
Yes.
You're going to win unless something statistically goes haywire for you. You're going to win most games if you can win the field goal stat with that type margin.
For the most part,
we took a lot of good shots at the rim. We took a lot of inside-out threes.
In film today,
we were able to penetrate and pitch and get 10 toes to the rim threes, which are threes we just have a lot better chance to make. Being able to get days going early like that's huge. If you don't get banged up a little bit in the second half, there's no telling maybe hit 6 or 7 threes for us. But being able to get him going early in the game is really big for us and really critical for us. And I thought that was a great start for us.
Again, LSU wins on the road, 86-80 over South Carolina, picks up their 10th conference win of the season. They now will head to Gainesville, Florida on Wednesday night to take on the Florida Gators. Fans, whether you want to sit courtside or score a bird's eye view, StubHub, the best place to grab your Tiger tickets. StubHub, the official ticket marketplace of LSU Athletics. StubHub, be there. We'll continue to talk Tiger basketball and their win over South Carolina on Saturday. Then before we wrap up tonight, we'll discuss the matchup with the Florida Gators. Another giant game for both teams when it comes to tournament seeding in the SEC tournament and possibly March Madness. Plus, we'll be happy to take your calls for the coach, and you can tweet us live at LSU Radio. The phone line's open, 225-578-4827 in Baton Rouge. Toll free, 1-800-315-8255 from anywhere in the country. It's the Will Wade Show, presented by Hancock Whitney. We're live from TJ Ribs on this, the LSU Sports Radio Network. LSU fans, show your pride with real Tigers gear from the official online store of LSU Athletics. LSU Shop
LSUshop.net. You'll find everything a Tiger fan needs, including jerseys, jackets, polos, t-shirts, hats, and more, with an awesome selection of more than 4,100 products, including official team merchandise from Nike. When it comes to team pride, there's only one place real Tiger fans go. LSUshop.net.
Started out really good, guarded them really well.
LSU fans, show your pride with real Tigers gear from the official online store of LSU Athletics, LSUshop.net. You'll find everything a Tiger fan needs, including jerseys, jackets, polos, t-shirts, hats, and more, with an awesome selection of more than 4,100 products, including official team merchandise from Nike. When it comes to team pride, there's only one place real Tiger fans go. LSUshop.net.
Escape out of there with a win.
Yeah, I mean,
The
guy
fire.
just, I mean, what we were
The
talking about
SEC
earlier.
fire never gets colder. Make it
try not to
smolder.
get too
Feed
much
it more
into
decibels,
I feel like
more fervor and
the guys that
fever.
win.
Stoke with raw
This time
emotion
makes
and
it
believers.
great. He picked up a
Allegiance is
big
the
victory
spark.
this time, so.
Tradition is the ignition.
Northwestern
And the
comes in
chaos is the
12 and
kindling.
13
Drown
overall,
out
9
the
and 7 in the
distractions.
conference
Douse
before they
the
went
don't
and
care.
backed up
Feed
against league
the
leaders,
fire.
sticking up offense.
Feed it
Looks like,
more.
man, right now it's sticking up offense. Life is going league as they sit 24 and 3 and 14 in
The
Wake
fire. The SEC fire never gets colder. Make
but I
it
think we got a good
smolder.
chance
Feed it
with
more
those
decibels,
two.
more
Yeah, no
fervor
question.
and
Our last four, we were talking to our guys
with
today,
raw
our last
emotion
four,
and
so
believers.
we're all winnable.
Allegiance is the
Games,
spark.
as long as we
Tradition
do
is
what
the
we do,
ignition. And the
we
chaos
talk for
is the
40 minutes, and
kindling.
we look at
Drown
Northwestern,
out
we
the
beat them at their place,
distractions.
and then
Douse
they're
the
roll.
don't
They're
care.
5-2 right now.
Feed the
They're
fire.
going to be coming in.
Feed
They're,
it
I believe, they're still in fifth. Fifth in the league.
Right now, 55th at
Yeah, I mean, they have everything to play for. They're trying to get one of their five.
On the Will Wade Show, presented by Hancock Whitney from the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Fans, Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital in Baton Rouge, of course, now open. They serve families across the state of Louisiana. You can learn more by visiting OLOLchildrens.org. Our Lady of the Lake, the official health care provider of LSU Athletics. Tigers get the win this past Saturday, 86-80 on the road against South Carolina. Coaching that win, you outscore the Gamecocks 30-22 in the paint, but you give up 20 offensive rebounds. You pull down 12 in the game. You win the overall board battle 29-23. So the question comes, do those numbers concern you, or based on the flow of the game and the shots that were taken, did that contribute to the offensive class numbers?
Coach, we're going to take a break.
Concerning.
We're going to let you take a break for a segment or so. We're going to
give up 20 offensive rebounds.
Coaches,
it's not good. You know, we were fortunate South Carolina didn't convert more of them. You know, they didn't score a bunch of points off the offensive rebounds. But just think about it. By the nature of an offensive rebound, 3 out of 4 of them are going to be right by the rim. Usually an easy putback, or if not an easy putback, a foul. You get fouled a lot. We draw a lot of our fouls. On offensive rebounds.
The countdown to Katy has begun. The Southland Conference Basketball Tournament at the Merrill Center in Katy, Texas. Experience it live as Southland strong teams compete for a tournament title and a chance to go to the dance. It's a powerful family fun and great college hoops action. Tickets for the Southland Conference Basketball Tournament are on sale through school ticket offices and Ticketmaster.com.
The numbers point per possession on our first shot defense would be under 1 point of possession. 0.95 is about the number that would be for a very good defense, but we're between 0.95 and 1 on our first shot defense. The problem is we give up way too many second and third opportunities, and that's why our defensive numbers are so poor. If you look at Kentucky, I think you look at a lot of their threes in the game against them. I think 4 of their threes were off offensive rebounds that we gave up. But if you look at the Florida game from the first time, we gave up 3 threes off offensive rebounds. 12 points off Kentucky and 9 points off the Florida game. It's a lot different. The games are very, very different. And so the second, giving up the second and third opportunities are certainly a concern. It's something we addressed a lot.
I assume that you would probably say it was concerning, but I've said that before. I have said, wow, this thing told me about it. I remember, so I was thinking. That's why I don't assume anymore. You know what happens when you assume?
Yeah, that's right.
I don't do that.
That's smart. That's smart. But this would be concerning.
Okay.
This would be concerning. So hopefully we'll get it fixed in
It
Gainesville.
looks pretty
Practice
clear.
last week. I know one of the things you talked about, and you said it on
Well,
the
you were
show.
there, Chris. What'd you think?
I know, but that's what I'm getting to. You said there was a lot of dribble penetration. We were allowing guys to get to the paint, collapsing defensively and allowing somebody on the wing, somebody top of the key or in the corner to have an open three. And when I went to practice on Thursday, which thank you, by the way, you allowed me to go to practice, you emphasized
I
squaring
didn't tell
up.
everybody. Did you tell everybody you kind of coached the defense on Thursday, so our defense was better?
That's exactly
You
right.
were coaching us up a little bit.
But you know what? One of the things that I was impressed with is that you guys stressed squaring up the ball handle. And you kept saying, regardless of where you are on the floor, you need to square them up so that you can force them, regardless of where they go, to go east-west as opposed to
Dang, you were
north
paying
and
pretty
south.
good attention.
I was really paying attention.
That was a change. We had been.
Anyway, so let's.
We don't like to give up middle. So our defense is
Great
basically
basketball background.
probably 75% of the defenses of college basketball are built to keep everything funneled outside the middle. There's some teams that funnel stuff to the middle.
Ed Conway,
Maybe 20-25% of the teams funnel stuff to the middle. But our closeouts had been, we want to influence them baseline would be the best way I would put it. But we had been giving them baseline. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And so that was one of the kind of minor adjustments we make. It's a major adjustment. Is all right, we're not going to influence them anywhere. Just play them straight up and don't let them get to the paint. Make them divert.
You kind of
And make them play east-west, not north-south, like basically what we're saying. But we were giving them too many angles with our closeouts and not being square on the ball and not being where we need to be. So that was
the biggest thing.
That was a big adjustment that we made. We did a better job in the South Carolina game. We still gave up too many. I mean, you watch
when I was a player,
even the Florida game. I watched the Florida game from the first time we played them, which seems like a long time ago, which it was. But you watch that and we gave Florida a ton of angles. We gave Nebhard angles. We gave Johnson angles. We gave them way too many driving angles. And so if we can keep the ball square, keep the ball in front, and make people play east-west as opposed to north-south. And that was one of the schematic things that we changed. It's really not that difficult to change and not that big of a deal, but you've got to redo a lot of muscle memory that we've been working on, closing out inside, inside and influence them. You want to close out on their inside shoulder and influence them baseline. So that was something that we certainly had to get changed. I'm impressed that you picked up on that, paid that much attention.
Well, get ready. Here's the next one.
That's pretty
I
good.
know you were upset with some of the transition buckets that opponents have been getting, not necessarily all the way to the rim, but also driving and kick out threes in transition. And you also, I know, put an emphasis on putting your spot on the floor and stopping the ball carrier a little farther out. And I noticed that. How do you think the guys were able to do that in the South Carolina game, carrying over from practice to the game?
We did a better job. I was telling you last week when we were talking about South Carolina, they're playing a lot faster than they've ever played. I think he trusts the guards a little bit more. He trusts those guards a little bit more maybe than he had been. And so we had to sprint back in transition and get the ball stopped earlier. We weren't getting the ball stopped till between the free throw line and the three-point line. And when you let them get that deep that early, you're just playing behind. The best way I can put it is you're just chasing them the whole possession. You're not guarding them. You've got no chance. You're just in rotation and chasing them around the court as opposed to staying in front and guarding them. And so we tried to get our point of pickup right, at the NBA three or maybe a little bit further out, but we could divert them away from the basket early on and try to keep them out of the paint. And so I thought we did a better job of that. But this is all stuff that we've worked on, that we've got to continue to work on, continue to get better. We need to get some of our full court defense better. We got to get back. Our best defense. I was talking about the points per possession. We give up like 0.85 points a possession when we're in our 2-2-1 back to our man. That's been by far our best defense. We didn't get to use it much just because we had to get our half-court defense fixed against South Carolina, so we didn't have enough time to really fix the 2-2-1 as well. And so we need to get back to playing that, because that's been a very, very good defense for us all season. And hopefully we can get back to playing that some this week when we play Florida and Texas A&M.
Important games coming down the stretch for LSU. Again, 4 games remain. It will start on Wednesday night on the road once again against the Florida Gators. We'll continue to talk about preparation going to Gainesville and, of course, a scouting report on those Gators playing LSU for the second time on the season as we continue here on the Will Wade Show, presented by Hancock Whitney, live from TJ Ribs on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Okay. Bugsy, what's up? It's crazy out there. I nearly got caught on the way over. What's this all about?
Steak or seafood?
Oh, steak.
Coke or Dr. Pepper?
Coke. And that's only because you drink Coke.
I'm about to kick you off the set. Very well played.
That's
Cats
fair.
or dogs?
Oh, dogs.
LSU or Alabama?
Ooh, no response. Neither.
Michigan or Ohio State?
Neither. Minnesota.
He's playing games.
Politically correct.
He's playing PC.
Must be at least 21 to purchase.
Would you say cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Okay. 3 out of 5 I'm okay with.
That's fair.
And as an LSU athletic fan, you can get a special
Ladies and gentlemen, Southeastern Director of Recruiting and Scouting. No, not scouting, recruiting. Dean Bomber's going to bring him in here in just a second. Riley Conroy, we very much appreciate it. Dean, come on over here, sir. So we're not going to go to break just yet. We're going to bring Dean in, but nicely done, sir. Well done on the hot seat.
Thank you.
Unless you have to answer one of the two. You don't get there's no third option on this. So we'll bring in Dean Bomber fans here in just a second, and Dean, another guy that I got a chance to really know on a personal level this year, get to know his basketball knowledge. Very entertaining guy. To me, if he didn't coach basketball, he could maybe have a field in stand-up comedy. But Dean, welcome to the show, sir.
Glad to be here.
Thank you very much, man. Good to have you on. So let's talk. Same thing you saw how we did things with Raleigh, same general concept, and then your seat can get hot at the very end. So, okay, so from the Kentucky area, of course, great basketball background a little bit. Tell us about that, and then we'll go from there.
So I started out as a student manager at the University of Louisville, where Rick Pitino was the head coach, and I was there when we went to the Final Four in 2012. Got to experience several Big East championships, so got to be around a lot of really good basketball. And while I was there, that's really when I developed a passion to become a coach. And Riley touched on a lot of the good points, is one to impact the players' lives, trying to help them, always trying to be
fans
that
across
coach
the
that they'll
region.
remember
As
forever,
part of
that
the
they can take
statewide
something away
pediatric
with and carry
healthcare
along
network,
with
the state-of-the-art
themselves, just in
facility
their
was
everyday
designed
life,
from the
whether that's
ground
as
up
a
to help patients
father,
and their
a husband,
families through the most tender
member of
moments of their
community.
lives.
Doesn't have to
Learn
be on
more
the
by
basketball
visiting
court, but it can impact them in
olchildrens.org.
scale of
Our
life.
Lady of the
You
Lake,
did your job.
the official
Something
healthcare
I've
provider
noticed
of
this year, too, is
LSU
a lot of
athletics.
times before the games. I mean, obviously, for the fans that are at a lot of the games, Coach Kiefer
Back with more on the Will Wade Show, presented by Hancock Whitney. Live from TJ Ribs. Got a question for the coach? The phone lines are open.
LSU on the road once again. Big matchup against the Florida Gators, a rematch from a game on the 21st of January that LSU got the win here in Baton Rouge. Coach, going back to South Carolina, you already touched on it. Darius Days really had a good night for you. Only had 2 fouls in the game. That's the first stat I look at. 9
He
boards.
also, he did a great job defensively. It was his best ball screen defense. He did a phenomenal job. There was a play right in front of you, actually, where you guys were sitting, where we were in a transition defense situation,
being the director of scouting,
and they pitched it ahead to 52, who's their best shooter.
With each other.
Days closed out high hands,
and
he couldn't get off a shot. He dribbled a couple times, tried to go around Days, couldn't get around him. He stayed square on him, like the drill you were talking about, and made him pass it, and then denied him the ball back. I mean, it was as good a defensive effort as you could have.
Well, I think that's why I keep getting
Days was huge for us.
With which one of you
rebounding the ball. He got a lot of really kind of gritty, tough
put you together,
rebounds. I thought he did a great job. digging out
let's go to your
some
play
really,
real
really
quick.
Some really, really difficult rebounds, some really tough rebounds. Sometimes you can get 8 or 9 rebounds, the ball just kind of falls in your hands that night. You know what I'm saying? It's different when you go up there and you're snatching them with 2 hands, and grabbing them with 2 hands, and making making things happen. Making things happen like that. It's a lot different. And so I thought Days really did a great job.
Probably just like communication and toughness.
Getting the gritty,
that stems more to when I was
rebounds. How about the loose ball he got in the second half? He was able to pitch it to Manning, and Manning was able to throw it ahead
more so than I did with
for transition. I thought he just did a phenomenal job. He's one of our hardest playing guys. He's one of our hardest workers.
On the team because we travel all over the country every summer doing that stuff.
Obviously, Skyler, but he's one of the most respected guys on the team.
Willing to get dirty when nobody else wants to.
I mean, you're around him. He's always in a good mood. He's always bopping around. He says hello to everybody and talks to everybody.
I'm going to ask you,
makes everybody feel like $1 million when you're around him.
You guys, no different than the rest of the assistant
it's great to see him have success.
Y'all throw the record out the window.
Really, when he gets
for every single game,
like most guys, when he gets going offensively like that to start, he's really engaged in every aspect of the game.
Moving forward, I mean,
it was interesting, and I try to pride myself on paying attention to everything going on in the game. And while Darius got off to a quick start, had a great game, I was really surprised by the effort of Javonte Smart, not because of what he did, but because he also had 18 points. And to me, when you watch that game, it was like Darius was dropping torpedoes, and Javonte was death by paper cut because he had 18 points.
That way you're in the hot seat.
How about this? I know I get a lot of questions about him. He leads the SEC in assist to turnover ratio.
Yeah, I saw that number tonight.
Did you know that? He leads the SEC. The second one's Kyra Lewis. I hear people tell me all the time, "You got to get better point guard play." Well, hell, he's the best one in the SEC at assist to turnover. What are we talking about? I want to say, you have any idea what you're watching? You know if the ball's got air in it or if it's stuffed. Like, you have any clue what you're watching? But I mean, like,
so going into the season, we all kind of met with each other. We decided that we wanted to be the best-looking coaching staff in America.
It doesn't exactly look like what Tremont was doing, but it's just as effective.
Anybody is more than welcome.
I was really proud of him. I was really proud of Skyler. And I told Javonte this actually yesterday. We talked for a while. I told him,
Coach Schulte leads the way by far
against South Carolina. In a lot of games, I can control a lot of stuff and call plays and kind of manipulate where everybody goes. There's just a lot of stuff you can do. Against South Carolina, they're kind of out there on their own. You got to get the spacing right and get the, you got to know how the defense is going to rotate and make sure your guys are rotating to the right spots behind the defense. But a lot of it against South Carolina is you're on your own. You got to make decisions at a quick pace, and if you don't have good guard play against them, you got zero chance. You got zero chance to beat them. And for both Javonte and Skyler to have positive assist to turnover ratios in that game, and we had 17 assists in the South Carolina game, which was huge. That's a really, really high number, especially when you play them because they're trying to force you to play.
No, because then I'm not on the hot seat. That makes it like a lukewarm
charge in there. We had a couple charges, but they were I'd consider pretty good charges.
You can't say Louisville.
But I thought Javonte played tremendously well. I thought Skyler did the same thing, and it's in a game where you've got to have your guards play really well. If your guards don't play really well, you have zero chance because you can't get the ball reversed. Almost every play in basketball requires some sort of ball reversal. So why is it so hard to get the ball reversed against them? I thought both those guys did a great job. I thought Trendon did a really nice job because we had to play through him some too because you can play through him at the top of the key if you could get him the ball, and so. I'm really proud of Javonte. There's obviously still areas that we want to be better at.
I'm gonna give you the same one.
I think he can rebound better for a big guard and continue to improve on some of his defensive stuff. But he's doing so much for us.
We're gonna take a break, fans. But when we come back,
it has to be one and be orange soda.
And SEC plays shooting over 35% from three, and I think somewhere around 50%
sir.
From the field.
Always enjoying sitting down with Dean Bomber. We'll take a quick break, our final break.
So he's playing at an extremely high level. We need to keep him,
Coach Patrick Schulte.
keep him playing well. And, it's been fun to watch him grow.
From Rainbow Dash.
Starting to talk more, be more vocal. He's not the most outgoing person.
What do you love most about being a student athlete?
Speak up in film and ask us to rewind the film and, hey, what about this? What do I do here? Trying to understand different things. talk to his teammates. He's widely respected within the team, and he's talking to those guys and helping those guys out. And I thought he did a very, very good job of kind of rallying the locker room and making sure everybody was on the same page. No, I thought him and Skyler and Days all did a great job to make sure everybody was rallied and understood how important this South Carolina game was and what we need to do to win. And I thought they did a great job of keeping everybody together and keeping our group solely focused on us beating South Carolina, which is what it took. It took every drop of preparation, every drop of every ounce of work that we had. That's what it took to win a big game like that. And our players deserve a lot of the credit for that.
No doubt about it. The Tigers had 4 in double figures, 2 on the cusp of double figures, a true team effort on the road, 86-80. We'll take a timeout. We come back in our final segments tonight. We'll look ahead to the matchup on Wednesday, taking on the Florida Gators for the second time on the season. Tigers got the win here in Baton Rouge. What will it take to sweep the Gators here in 2020? We'll find out from head coach Will Wade here on the Will Wade Show, presented by Hancock Whitney, live from TJ Ribs on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Okay, the Monday Night Coaches Show, Will Wade and also David Kiefer will be back in just a few minutes. Okay, once again, at 8 p.m., we'll have the Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer show. That will be include tonight's coaches show, so that will will follow afterwards. So we'll be on the air for another few minutes to a half hour. So if you want to come in and talk what's happening in the world of sports, well, you can do that here on Sportscast, a live chat room. I see some people in there, and once again, thanks for them for supporting this show. I appreciate it wholeheartedly, because look, this is, like I said, this is very hard and complicated, but look, we get through it. So we'll wait for the Southeastern feed to come back up, and also the Will Wade, the audio feed for Will Wade. So we'll have that up in a second. So wait for those.
Confounding and astounding, the sounding of
welcome back to Inside Southeastern Basketball here from Rainbow Daiquiris in beautiful Hammond, America. That's where you welcome back in. Lions assistant coach Patrick Schulte. And Coach, what you think of Dean and Riley, man? Pretty good for the cameos, huh? First time?
Yeah, I thought they did great, just like they do every day for us. They do whatever's asked, and if they don't know how to do something, they'll ask, they'll figure it out, and they'll be great.
Indeed, very witty individuals, especially that Bomber guy. So you got to give them credit.
They're making fun in the office.
They really do. They make those 15-hour road trips, round trip, very fun as well. So enjoyed that very much, guys. All kidding aside, Dean and Riley. Love watching you guys work on a daily basis, and looking forward to working with you the next couple of years as we continue to build what I think goes
with more on the Will Wade Show.
Monster program here. I mean, looking at just the way things played out this year. I mean, just, as one of the few people outside of the players and coaches that got to see every
LSU travels to take on Florida, a rematch, big-time game for both the Gators and the Tigers. Coach, the rematch coming up after you guys got the win on January 21st over a month ago, 84-82. When you go back and watch the film, it was an aggressive night. One of those nights where you guys took the fight to the Gators. You out-rebounded them and outshot them from the line. 24-31. They had 9 of 11 in that game. What stood out to you beyond that you liked about it?
I thought we were aggressive.
They're still coming to work every day.
To their credit, they've changed the way they play. When we were playing them the first time,
as long as they do that and whatever they do after basketball, they give them something.
And Blackshear together a lot.
You know something else,
and a bigger lineup, and bringing Scotty Lewis off the bench, and now they're starting Scotty Lewis and kind of
as hard as we're
playing with one big
on a daily basis. I mean, just a prime example. I mean, obviously accidents, but we've had several guys catch elbows and brackets.
They're a little bit of a different team
this time. I mean,
they played differently when we played them the first time.
Lady Luck is not.
Now they're playing a little bit more like they did last year.
I mean, from a coaching standpoint,
a smaller lineup, playing Johnson 11 at the 4.
They're working hard every single day in practice.
Where he's got some mismatches,
elbows, stuff like that happens.
I thought I thought
y'all take a lot of
what
positives
they've
and
done
seeing that
very,
that's
very
been
good
the
for
case
team
all year
for the
long.
reason
I mean, I know you obviously don't want guys hurt before a game, but it shows you that they're preparing to play every single game and they're practicing like you want them to play.
No doubt, yeah. You have to make practice harder in the games. If you don't make practice harder in the games, you just set yourself up for failure when games come. So I think every coach tries to do that, try to make the players feel adversity and try to challenge and fight through adversity as best they can in practice. Now it'll never quite mimic a game because it's different. You're playing against each other. You don't have officials. But every coach has their own way of inserting some adversity into practice to see how guys are going to handle it. Our freshmen at times, like you've mentioned, we've gotten a little banged up in practice. And as they grow older, the freshmen are starting to see
Six players in double figures. Emmett led the way with 19 points.
You can play through being a little hurt. And this time of the year, no team or no players feel 100% good. Everybody's played 25 14. Everybody's got nicks and bruises.
But you did play well defensively, and you shot 48% from the field overall. What did you like about the offense in that game? Shot selection, I imagine.
Play through being hurt with,
we did. We got off to a slow start. We were stuck on like 17 points for forever,
those type of
4 or
things.
5 minutes.
And our freshmen are starting to learn that and embrace that and taking pride in being able to play through some of those things as they go along.
That just made me think of a movie. Have you seen the program with James Caan? James Caan? Remember when he asked Darnell Jefferson, "Are you injured or you hurt?" Well, if you're injured,
kind of had
you
a
can't
horse
play.
blinders
You're hurt.
on as
You
opposed
can
to
get on the field.
seeing the court.
Yep, that's probably where my junior college coach got it from when he first told us that when I was playing way back when, a decade ago.
All right,
wait, what are you talking about? And then when you think about it more, he's
question from Twitter we'll get to in the final segment this week as we continue to talk about
fine line there, but at the same time, it's a
matchup coming up Wednesday night again at 8 p.m. Central
if you can play or not.
We will be back
with
more.
Need to figure it out.
We'll do that game. Yeah, no, this is late. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. We'll talk about the late game and the early game before we're done. Anyway, we'll be back with the final segment this week with Coach Will Wade. It's the Will Wade Show presented by Hancock Whitney live on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
90% of the
Hey, Tiger fans, it's Chris Blair with Neil Onabay, founder of Crispy Crunchy Chicken.
Crispy Crunchy Chicken is the best and fastest growing fried chicken in America you may have never heard of. Founded right here in southern Louisiana, now with over 2,500 locations coast to coast. There's one near you. For your nearest location, visit crispycrunchy.com or have it delivered to your door by your favorite home delivery company. Because everybody loves fried chicken.
Crispy Crunchy Chicken, freshly made, perfectly Cajun. Go Tigers!
Yeah, no doubt. And that was no knock on Tiger Pop. It's just they're limited in what they are with their bodies.
200 pounds.
But throughout the years, they figured out how to use their bodies to advantage. They're going to be able to outrun people.
Hugging my pizza
guy
time,
well, how can I guard?
My brother and I would have run out of things to talk about
that
a
is
long
60
time.
pounds heavier than me.
Our
Well, I'm
shared
going to
love
have to
for our
play
team
lower
has a
than
way
him
of
and
bringing us
really
closer.
sit on his legs and drive him back.
Because we
So as
all
the
know
years went
when
along, they
fans
figured
watch
out
together,
what their
they
bodies allow
celebrate
them to do
together.
that they can use to an
And
advantage and
sometimes
where they'll
even
be at
witness history
disadvantage
together.
in terms of weight
Cox,
and how to
proud
counter
partner
that
of
by
LSU
having to do
athletics.
things maybe a different way. We don't play behind in the post at all because if we did,
Support your LSU Tigers with Hancock Whitney, the official bank of LSU athletics. From game day to the offseason, Hancock Whitney LSU credit and debit cards are a big win for any Tiger fan. Want to get your paws on these cards? Well, apply online or visit HancockWhitney.com/LSU. Hancock Whitney Bank, member FDIC. All accounts subject to credit approval. Terms and conditions may apply.
94 feet. So the versatility of both of them is certainly there. And I mean, I think they certainly have the body frame.
Checks itself at the door, and
Yeah, no doubt. Both
unforgettable
of them are very
experiences
capable.
are
I
around
think both of
every
them are
corner. Discover
10 to
L'Auberge Baton
12%
Rouge.
better three-point shooters than they showed this year.
The hottest
When they start
games
hitting those more
and the
consistently, now
coolest
you're getting them to
rooftop
play
pool
out
around.
closeouts, and now it's easy for them
Make
to
your
blow by.
moment legendary
Blow by guys
at
that just have to
L'Auberge
shot
Baton
both of them
Rouge.
can put it on the ground
Exit at
2 or
Blue
3
Bonnet off
times
I-10.
and get to the rim
See
from
Munch
there.
Center for details. Must be 21 winner casino.
they'll
Gambling
continue
problem.
to
Call
grow
1-800-522-4700.
Celebrate the big
as they've had this
2020
year,
with
but
T-Mobile.
they've
Switch
done
now and
everything
get
they've
2
asked.
lines for just $90
They've been great
and
so
2
far.
new iPhone 11s on us. So you can take a portrait built for 2 with the ultra-wide camera.
Earlier too, and I've noticed the last
cute.
5 or
Hurry
6
into
years,
T-Mobile and get 2 lines for $90 and 2
Y'all
iPhone
talk
11s
about
on
what
us with
I
qualifying
feel like the
trade.
guards for the better part of the season have been, and Isaiah Kirby, I don't know that I've seen a whole lot of guards that are strong and physical as he is. It's just a freshman. I mean, and he's only going to get bigger and stronger. And I've heard Coach Keeper talk about, wanting to have
Wrapping things up on
size
the Will
strength
Wade
with the
Show.
board and whatnot.
Presented
And
by
I think
Hancock
when you look at
Whitney.
his body frame,
Final moments here tonight with Coach Will Wade. LSU on the road to take on Florida on Wednesday night. Big-time matchup for the Tigers as we head down the stretch. We talked offense in the first meeting
here late, the
last segment. Let's talk defense, and we'll go to Twitter. Coach Hadaway14 writes in, wants to know, Coach White, a 7 ball out of bounds place. How do you prepare for that?
Used to having the ball.
Yeah, he's very good baseline out of bounds.
Pretty much anything he wants with the ball.
We didn't do a great job
but now he's
against South Carolina. We spent so much time on our half court.
There's 4 other guys out there as well. So I'm not going to be able to shoot
the baseline out of bounds. He did a pretty good job the first time
against. But with the ball in his hands, he can do anything any player in our league can do.
He's a really smart coach. He typically tries to score on the baseline out of bounds action. Pass it in from out of bounds and get a good shot or get a good look. Against us the first time, he knew we were going to take away a lot of that stuff, so we just tried to get the ball in and then get to his action. So we've got to prepare for both this time. We're prepared the first time for him trying to score kind of quick strike offense, if you will,
and they know how to play.
He beat us with a little bit of a, just trying to get the ball in bounds and then get into his quick strike.
Staying on the same topic.
Off the baseline out of bounds. So
you go to the NBA and you look.
We'll prepare for both. They do a good job disguising their stuff, whether it's their high-low,
went through the five guys. You look back in the '90s with the Shaqs of the world, Barkley, all these guys that are back-to-basket players,
with the baseline out of bounds.
7-footers are playing out on the perimeter. Have you seen any type?
We need to be ready. We need to be ready for that. It's certainly going to be an important piece to the game.
Thank you, Wes, for the question on Twitter. Coach,
there's been
the last
some
couple of days again, you came back from South Carolina,
teams
got back
are less scared to play small
late
ball
Saturday
now
night,
because there are some advantages.
To go on the road against Florida. One of the things that impressed me about practice last week was it was really a grueling and grinding practice. And what impressed me was that early on, when you guys were working on defense,
athletic 4-man,
your guys, the main guys, starting guys, first 5, 6, 7 off the bench, didn't have their best effort early on, and yet they still kept fighting. And you guys went at a rapid pace. It was one run after another, and I wasn't sure how long you guys were going to practice that day and how long I had to spend with you. But what I loved was the spirit of the team. Coming off the win from South Carolina, getting a little confidence.
Do it right, do it light.
So in that aspect,
wrong. Do it all
it hasn't switched the rest
That's a perfect way. That's what it was like on Thursday. But now that you come off the win on Saturday, what's the preparation and mindset of this team going into the match?
We spent some time working on ourselves today. We still,
the way we played the last 5 or 6
cured
games,
everything at South Carolina.
I think I talked to you about this after in one of the post-game interviews. It seemed to me like maybe 4 or 5 games ago that we started making a conscious effort of getting
working on ourselves
more and not settling for the 3. I mean, is that
something
that
was
really
75, 25, ourselves to Florida, and then tomorrow we'll hone in, we'll probably spend
the game plan,
40% of the time working on ourselves, and 60%
it's a little bit of both.
Focused on,
Coach Kiefer puts a heavy emphasis on getting to the rim, so I know he's challenged guys to get to the rim, and as we get guys in who are more what I would call specialists and guys that just shoot the ball or one thing or the other. Kind of like Cucks Allison for McNeese. He's a specialist. You can't let him literally catch the ball clean anywhere. He's going to shoot it. So when you have guys like that, you're okay with them throwing up a lot of shots. But sometimes we have guys that settle for a contested jumper when we feel like nobody can stop them from getting to the rim. So let's say Ty Brewer, for example.
9 p.m. Eastern, you get the light, late flight
trying to get him to understand time.
A little more than a day to get ready for Texas A&M, who, as you predicted,
get to the rim,
pretty good basketball.
Now they're going to bring in a weaker defender to try to guard you the rest of the game. So getting everybody to understand that when you get to the line and shoot free throws,
defense is so unique. It's tough.
You just give yourself such an advantage.
Really,
I mean, it seems like he's gotten better and better at free throw line. And when he goes to the basket,
get ready for A&M, and
almost ripped the goal down a couple of times this year with some nice one-handed dunks. So
to do that, find a way.
Definitely looking forward to how much he's going to progress. Just a sophomore fan, he leads the team.
It'll be a big challenge for us, but we'll be prepared. We're not
top 10 in the conference.
We play them as they're scheduled, and we're excited to go to Florida. We'll be excited to come home and play A&M. It should be a fun afternoon or fun morning.
What we wanted to be.
It should be a fun morning.
That'll happen if you took our record and said we were 9-9 right now, and everybody would be talking about Ty Brewer as a surefire first team All-Southland player.
Really cool morning.
We have close games like
excited for the week. Excited for the week ahead of us.
slept on and a little underrated, whereas next year when we start picking it up again,
you can be part of two final home games for LSU basketball, and your next chance comes up on Saturday, 11 a.m. LSU takes on Texas A&M. You can get your tickets now at LSUTix.net. Coach, again, thank you for your time, and we will see you in sleepy Gainesville on Wednesday night.
Chamber of Commerce ain't going to leave anything in your room, Chris.
Oh, they might, but I won't enjoy it.
Yeah, you won't enjoy it. Your room ain't smell bad.
Fans, that's going to wrap things up tonight. My thanks to Coach Will Wade, the fine staff at TJ Ribs, Jeff Palermo, and Alondra Villarreal back in the studio. Next week, join us again, same day, same time, same channel, The Will Wade Show. And until Wednesday night from Hogtown. That's right, Gainesville. Google it. This is Chris Blair. So long, everybody.
Is Harper a mama's boy or daddy's boy?
No, she's definitely a mama's boy.
You made that too easy.
But Lincoln is a surefire daddy's boy, so it's always good whenever I get home. I can hear Harper yelling, but then Lincoln will always run up to me and give me a hug. I went home quick for lunch today, and I picked him up. He was sleeping. I picked him up out of his room when he got up from his nap, and as we were walking out to the living room, he finally noticed, like, oh, this is Dad, this isn't Mom. So he gave me a big hug, and then I handed him to Mom. He started crying. He wanted back, so that always makes me feel good.
That is a great answer, sir, that ensures you will not sleep on the couch tonight. So, well done. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have just about exhausted our time as Coach Patrick Schulte. We certainly appreciate it, man. Looking forward to these last 4 games. I really think going to be very competitive and pick up a couple victories before we wrap it up.
Yeah, no doubt. Just keep challenging these guys to keep coming to work every day and trust in what we're doing and each other and playing for the right reasons, and we'll string some together here to end the year.
Absolutely. Well, fans, again, time is exhausted. Don't forget the Lions in action twice this week. Wednesday night on the road at McNeese at 6:30 and Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock as they face Northwestern State. Thanks to Patrick Schulte, assistant coaches Dean Bomber and Riley Conroy. I'm Chris Salim. Thanks again for watching Inside Southeastern Basketball right here from Rainbow Daiquiris in beautiful Hammond, America.
Inside Southeastern Basketball with David Kiefer is the product of
Okay, thanks for joining us for Monday Night Coaches Show. The 2 coaches shows will conclude now. Thank you, Juan. Let's see, Juan FTW1980. Thanks for joining us tonight. Okay, good evening once again. Welcome to the Monday Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer show here for Monday, February 24th. We're going to be going over some recaps in this show. We'll recap what happened in the XFL. We'll also recap what happened on the college baseball diamonds this past weekend, and also we'll have some Twitter. We'll look at Twitter, see what's happening on Twitter in the sports world, see what's happening there. So let's begin tonight's show with score updates. So we'll go ahead and do score updates first here on Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer show. Let's begin our show with college basketball updates. Let's give you some of those top 25 games going on in the nation. Okay, top 25 scores. Florida State on top, 73-64. 3 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in the second half. That game's still going on. Also, let's give you an update. Okay, let's see. Okay, also, Texas on top, 62-54. Kansas will take on Oklahoma State. That will begin at 8 p.m. So just we'll start in just a few moments. So like I said, that we'll go also see what happened on the college basketball polls. We'll give you those this week. We'll give you the new. There was a lot of change in college basketball this week. So we will get to them in just a few moments. Let's get, let me see if I can switch this over. Let's see if I can. I don't know if I can. Let's see if I can get back to the score screen. I'll switch it over to D1 scores. I don't know why we can't get the D1 score screen up. Sorry about that. We'll check it. We'll get it up in a second. Let me kind of refresh it so we can. Sometimes it don't go by itself. Sometimes it does, sometimes it don't. Okay, we'll give you some D1 scores in just a second. Let me pull this D1. Waiting on the D1 scores to come up. Okay, D1 scores, we'll scroll down. Morgan State on top, 46-36. Also, North Carolina A&T is on top, 56-38. Also, it is North Carolina Central on top, 55-46. Also, it is Florida A&M on top, 19-14 against South Carolina State. Also, it is Illinois on top, 34-31 in halftime. That's out in Champaign, Illinois. Also, it is Bethune-Cookman on top, 30-20. Southern is on the road. They're taking on Alabama A&M. They're on top, 16-10, first half of that game. Mississippi Valley State and Prairie View A&M tied up at 10. Also, it is Arkansas Pine Bluff on top, 8-5. And Gardner-Webb is defeats Hampton 81-67. So that's the only college basketball. We don't have an update on Alabama State and Alcorn State, so that's probably not going to be on there. So we'll just go ahead and go to the NBA side. Give you some Monday night NBA scoreboard. Pull this up. Okay, Monday night NBA scoreboard action. Philadelphia on top, 198. So right now they're leading in at 8:32 remaining. And now it's 107-102. Also, it is Milwaukee on top, 110-101. 7:12 remaining in the game. So also it is Miami on top, 102-90. So 102-90. So the update is coming in real quick. So we'll have to give it to you. Also, it is Brooklyn on top, 81-75. Also, it is Houston on top, 66-55. We'll see what's happening with Mitchell Robinson. We'll check the box score, see what's happening with Mitchell Robinson, how he's doing. Okay, Mitchell Robinson, right now, he's +2. He has 1 of 1 shooting. He's also has 1 rebound, 1 on defense. So we want to know what's going on with the local athletes that's in the NBA. Dallas on top, 25-22. Game going to be going on in just a second. That's going to be Phoenix versus Utah. That'll be just in a few moments. Also at 9:30 Central Time, that's going to be out at the Staples Center. It's going to be the LA Clippers taking on the Memphis Grizzlies. So that is college pro basketball update. So let's give you a NHL update as well. I'm going to give you an NHL game update. So I'll give you that in just a second. So let's go to the NHL score page. We'll give you that update. Okay, one game going on tonight. It is Ottawa tied up with Columbus 2-2. That's in the third period. So that's only one game going on tonight. That game is on ESPN Plus. So if you want to watch that game, you can watch it on ESPN Plus. Okay, we'll go ahead and give you some women's college basketball. I'm going to go ahead and do that. We'll start with women's college basketball. We'll move over to women's college basketball, see what's happening in the on the other side. Right now it's Oregon on top 5-2. Now it's 7-5. 7-5. Oregon on top of Stanford. So we'll give you the other scores as we go. Okay, Baylor defeats West Virginia 64-39, and Duke defeats North Carolina State 70-65. So it's 8-7. Stanford on top. Give you the D1 scores. I'll go ahead and give you those D1 updates as well. Okay, D1 scores. Air Force on top 12-3 against New Mexico. Also, it is Boise State on top of UNLV 4-2. San Diego State is on top 8-6. Also, it is North Carolina Central defeating Howard 89-71. Also, North Carolina A&T defeats Maryland Eastern Shore 72-57. Also, Bethune-Cookman defeats Norfolk State 68-62. Also, Morgan State defeats Delaware State by the final of 61-41. Also, it was Florida A&M defeating South Carolina State 57-45. Also, it was Alabama State defeating Alcorn State 95-70. Also, it was Texas Southern defeating Arkansas Pine Bluff 77-46. Also, it was Prairie View A&M defeating Mississippi Valley State by the final of 89-72. And Southern loses to Alabama A&M by 2-point margin 59-57. Marist defeats Fairfield 75-45. Canisius defeats Niagara 78-56. Stetson defeats NJIT by the final of 68-49. Also, it was Liberty defeating North Florida 76-54. Also, it was North Alabama defeating Kennesaw State by the final of 71-54. Also, it was Jacksonville defeating Lipscomb by the final of 76-53. Other games going on later. San Jose State taking on Utah State, and Wyoming will take on Nevada. That will be later on this evening. In college basketball, that's on the women's side. So that's your college basketball updates and women's college basketball and also NHL updates. We'll go ahead and give you full recap of what. Once again, college update from Tallahassee. Final score: Florida State defeats Louisville 82-67 is the final. So that game is concluded. Kansas defeats Oklahoma State. It's leading Oklahoma State 3-2. So 3-2 in the first half. So let's go ahead and go to tonight's full recap. We'll have a full recap of XFL football. XFL football was yesterday. We had some games that were going on. So we'll give you some highlights and we'll give you analysis on these games. So let's go ahead and begin with the first game highlight. We'll have highlights here. First game we'll give you. LA defeated DC 39-9. That was so we'll go ahead and give you those highlights. Let me go ahead and punch that highlights up for you. And we'll give you those football highlights as we go. Okay, so we'll give you every scoring play that happened and every defensive play.
And the Wildcats are taking the field. Both teams are ready for football, and so are we.
So the first play
Johnson again going deep. This time, McBride open into the end zone for the Wildcats.
For the LA Wildcats, that was the first touchdown. So it was 6-0 with 12:10 remaining in the first. Was the first score.
Touchdown. Well, it proved to be chaos.
Okay, this was on 3rd and 6. DC on offense, LA on defense.
Just on the wrong side. Jones in the shadows. Oh, that one's picked off. Arion Springs with the interception.
So that was an interception right there by Arion Springs. LA has a goal line situation, so LA was at 2nd and goal.
And they hand it off to one of them, Larry Rose.
And that would be a touchdown for the LA Wildcats.
Into the end zone for the score. Yeah,
So this would be a 3rd and 8 situation. LA would be LA would be on offense, DC on defense.
The XFL. Here's Josh Johnson going deep down the sideline. This time.
So Josh Johnson would throw a touchdown. That would be a nice little score in the end zone for the touchdown.
Trey McBride holds it in. Oh, it's blocked. And LA recovers.
Nice defensive block for LA Wildcats. LA would throw a screen pass with left side on the 28 to get into the touchdown. So it would be a nice look.
If he could get there one more time, this time he delivered.
So it would be, the score would be 33-3. LA on top with 6:35 remaining.
Heavy run situation here. 3rd and a yard.
3rd and 1.
Oh, they get that in more. Martez Carter going in for his 3rd touchdown of the game. There's the backflip.
And that's how you close the game.
And so the Wildcats win it, knocking off the DC defenders.
So they win the game 39-9. So I'm gonna tell you that was just excellent football by the LA Wildcats. So I look at it this way. Look, the XFL is getting better every single week during the 2020 season. I mean, look. So this is one of the games. So we'll give you another game in just a second. I'm gonna give you another game highlight. That's going to be the second highlight of the Sunday matinees. So I'm gonna give you another highlight. The next highlight we'll play is St. Louis versus New York. St. Louis wins 29-9. So we'll give you that highlight. So let's go ahead and give you some of those highlights of what happened in that game.
Today, the hometown St. Louis Battlehawks come inside the Dome for the first time as they host the New York Guardians.
So St. Louis.
Jones again. Big hole.
St. Louis will get a first touchdown on first and 10. There'll be a first down right there. So on that first possession, and they get a run.
Straight ahead.
And they get their first touchdown of the afternoon. So DC, St. Louis gets the score. So that would be a score right there.
Closing run for a St. Louis touchdown. Christine Michael. Can't move to the ball is fielded. And here goes Keith Mumphrey.
Looks like a little quick play.
With room on the near side. And for the first time,
and they get a nice little number 44 just a nice
Joe Powell to the end zone.
That was a nice little trick play they did. The St. Louis Battlehawks in this game. So here's on 4th and 3, they get blocked. So it would be a block punt right there by the St. Louis defense. Good effort by their defense.
Battlehawks with another fight. Special teams play. And that would be another score. Shaq Jones with the return.
St. Louis on top. This is on 2nd and goal. They get a touchdown.
St. Louis. Casey Sale's a local hero. He's got a sack today, and he found the girl with the Thin Mints. He traded a football for an entire box. That's some Girl Scout ingenuity.
That was a nice thing that young man did for the that little girl. So let's get back to the game. First and 10, Scott goes the pass, and that's being intercepted by St. Louis. So nice throw, intercepted by number 23 for St. Louis Battlehawks.
Tiamu stays on his feet, and he whistles.
Nice little pass right there. So that was a nice little pass. He was under pressure right there. He got that pass off for the first down, that St. Louis quarterback. So that was a nice little pass for the first down.
Complete for a first down to Alonzo Russell. Mussolino's made from 39. Leg. Wow. By an eyelash from 58.
Up right there on a 58-yard field goal. So once again, your final score, St. Louis defeats New York 29-9 was the final score. So nice, excellent games by the XFL, by the four teams that played this weekend in those actions. So let me go ahead and switch this back over. Okay, we'll give you those box score recaps. Let me go ahead and start with the LA Wildcats. We'll start with the box score recaps. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to give you their box score updates. Okay, let's get. Okay, we got Cordell Jones. Yesterday he had 13 of 26 passes. He had 103 yards passing the ball. He got sacked 3 times. His quarterback rating was 20.7. The main guys that was running the football for the Wildcats was, let's see, this is St. Louis, so that's, so their main guy, their only leading carrier for the DC Defenders was Brissett. He had 8 carries for 75. And let's see, Adulis, he had 8 carries for 47. Also, Plumlee had 8 carries for 40. So not much offense. Let's give you their stat breakdown. We'll give you their the stat breakdown on these teams. Let's go ahead and give you those stat breakdowns. Okay, the stat breakdown. LA had 334 yards of total offense. They ran 51 plays. DC ran 67 in the game. First downs, DC had 16 first downs, and LA had 17. Third down efficiency, LA was 4 for 10 for about 40%. DC was very sloppy on third down conversions. They were at 15%. The rushing yards, DC had 200. LA had 56. That's one thing. If you have a Hal Mummy offense, you're not going to have not that many rushing yards in games. You're gonna have most likely passing yards. So they did outrun them in the football game, DC. DC had the ball 36 times. They ran it for 200 yards. They averaged 5.6 in yesterday's game. Also, the passing, they kind of was low. They had 90 yards passing. LA had 278 in the game. Now, the defensive side, they had LA had 4 pass defended, and DC had 2 in the game. Quarterback hits, that was 4-2. And then the quarterback hits was even at 1 in the game. So once again, that was DC's stat line. So we'll give you their scoring plays. Okay, DC the first scoring play, DC did, LA did score on a touchdown. It was a 40-yard pass from Josh Johnson. Also, they had a run for a touchdown. It was a 1-yard scamper from Rose. Also, the 2-point attempt was good, made it 14-0. Also, let's see, Josh Johnson had a 28-yard touchdown pass, made it 20-0. Also, Carter had a 1-yard run for a touchdown. The 1-point conversion was successful, 27-0. DC kicked the field goal that was at a that was in the second quarter, a 32-yard field goal. Josh Johnson had an 18-yard touchdown, and also Carter had a 1-yard touchdown run, and their only touchdown. DC had a 38-yard touchdown pass for a touchdown. So that is let's give you the possessions on this game. Okay, the possessions, DC kind of their possession, they had interceptions. They had 1, 2, 3. They had 1, 2, let's see, 3, 4, 5 interceptions in that football game, DC. They did it. Their only touchdown was let's see where their only touchdown was. They didn't have much on this possession board. Okay, the LA touchdown was on 5 plays, 66 yards. The other touchdowns was on a once again 5-play, 28-yard play. Also, the LA touchdown was a 7 plays, 42, and also 2 plays, 4 yards. And then their last couple of touchdowns, this was at the 2:47 mark on a 6:35 mark. It was a touchdown there, and then at the 11:31 mark they had a touchdown. So they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 touchdowns in his football game. So I'm gonna tell you how Mummy, and don't get me wrong, he's gonna put those offenses together. That's one thing. He what he did at Southeastern was absolutely. He had that air raid offense. That was back when Southeastern brought back football back in 2003. I mean, that's why I say every time we have Hal Mummy's hands on it, they're gonna be some throwing. They're gonna be some throwing for the air. So once again, LA wins 39-9. We'll give you the score on the box score recap on LA and St. Louis. Okay, let's give you the LA and St. Louis. Let's give the St. Louis touchdown drives. Okay, the touchdown drive, this was at on 4 plays and 72 yards. They had 3 first downs on that touchdown play. That was 4 plays. That started the so it was at the 13-11 mark. So they had a touchdown at the 13-11 mark. The time of possession was 1:49. St. Louis had a touchdown that was on 0 plays and no yards. So it was 1 first down. That drive ended at 14 seconds. The drive ended at 12:10. So drive ended at 12:10. Next one, the drive ended at 1:08. Was on a fumble. It was on 5 plays, 17 yards for St. Louis. And let's see, that would be it. They had field goal, punt, and field goal. So they only had 1, 2, 3 touchdowns for the St. Louis Battlehawks in the football game. So I look at it this way. This league's getting very absolutely good. Now on the New York possessions, New York only had a touchdown that was at the 6:13 mark. 2:17 was the possession time. They had 5-play, 40-yard drive, so that was their only score. But the rest was punts, fumbles, turnovers on downs, and interceptions. So that is your possessions. We'll give you the box score. Let me go ahead and give you the box score in this game. Okay, let's give you St. Louis first. St. Louis passing. Tamu, he went 12 for 18 for 119 yards. He had was sacked 2 times for St. Louis. He had a quarterback rating of 85-2. Your main guy running the football for St. Louis was Jones with 15 carries, Michael with 13 carries. So your 2 guys that was contributing on the running game was Jones and Michaels. Now the wide receiver core, the only guys that made some significant catches was Russell with 3. Let's see. Pierce, EL with 3. Riley with 2. So Riley with 2 for St. Louis. Now your main, your quarterbacks, Williams. They put 2 quarterbacks in. They put Williams and they put McGlove in. He kind of had 1 sack as well, but he went 8 for 11, and Williams went 7 for 15 for the New York Guardians. So that was the box score stat information on those games. Let's give you let's give you those scoring plays. Let's do that. Okay, those scoring plays began with St. Louis scoring on a 14-yard run. That was a touchdown. Made it 6-0. New York kicked a 53-yard field goal. That was at the in the second quarter. St. Louis had a had a kickoff return for a 30. It was a 60-yard return for a touchdown. So it was 84 yards. Excuse me. My apology. 84-yard touchdown. So it's a kickoff return for 84 yards for a touchdown. Also, a field goal by St. Louis was a 39-yarder, and then Jones had a 1-yard touchdown. Also, 2-point conversion was successful. St. Louis had a 58-yard field goal that was in the third quarter, made it 26-3, and then New York came up with a touchdown. It was an 8-yard pass play from Perez to Duke for the touchdown. Also, the next field goal was in the fourth quarter. So that was St. Louis. So once again, your final score, St. Louis defeats New York 29-9 in the game yesterday. So once again, this is the Monday XFL recap for Monday. Thanks for joining us. We will have another XFL recap this weekend during Saturday. We have a game Saturday. We will have a Saturday recap, and also we'll have the Sunday recap on Sunday. So if you so we will have that for you here on Sportscaster Live. So let's go ahead and click this over, and we'll go over to some college baseball. We'll talk college baseball now. College baseball games went on yesterday. LSU won yesterday. I had that game yesterday. Tulane played yesterday, and also Southeastern and UNO. So we'll recap Southeastern, UNO, and Tulane today. We'll recap those games for you. sportscaster. So let me go ahead and give you a recap on them. Let's go ahead and give you a recap on Tulane. I'm going to go to the American Conference scoreboard. I'm going to give a recap on what happened yesterday in Tulane's Cal State Fullerton game. So let me pull this up. Okay, Tulane Cal State Fullerton played yesterday. Tulane won 6-4, so they did win the rubber match of the of that series. So so let's give you the recap of Cal State Fullerton and Tulane baseball. So let's go ahead and do that. Tulane did win 6-4 yesterday. Was the final. So I'm going to give you a recap. So let me pull my recap, pull up my play-by-play screen. Okay, the play-by-play screen. Okay, scoring summary. Let's give you that scoring summary. Tulane scored in the top of the second. It was a double by Trevor Menden. It was double. Matthews did score, made it 1-0. Cal State Fullerton scored on a single, made it 2-1. So it was a 2-1, two RBI single there. Trendon once again singled. Trendon Menden that made it 2-2. Also, Ethan Golf, he had a advanced to third. Trevor Minder did score on a wild pitch, made it 3-2. Cal State Fullerton singled again. They tied it up at 3. That was in the bottom of the 4th. Also, they went to extra innings. They went to the 13th inning. Tulane had a single. That was Ethan Graff had a single. That was on a bunt, RBI. So it made 4-3 Tulane. Then in the top of the 13th, Colin Burns singled to right field. And let's see, Trevor Menden did score. So Trevor Minder scored. It made it 5-3. Then Hayden Hastings hit it was out at first. Second, it was on a sac bunt, so it was sac bunt, made it 6-3. Cal State Fullerton in the bottom of the 13th hit a base hit. They scored the only run. That was 4. So once again, that was final score. 6-4 was the final score yesterday. So we'll give you the pitching performances. Oh gosh, fucking headphones things are driving me nuts. Okay, let's give you the box score recap. Okay, box score recap for Tulane. I'm going to give you those box score recap numbers. Ty Johnson went 1 for 4. Jonathan Ortiz went 1 for 7 in yesterday's game. Hudson Haskin went 1 for 6. Grant Matthews went 3 for 6. Frankie Neiman went 1 for 5. Trevor Minder went 2 for 4. Ethan Graff went 3 for 6 in the game. Colin Burns went 1 for 5. Parker Haskins went 0 for 3. Luke Glancy went 0 for 1. Hayden Hastings went 0 for 1 in the game. Tulane had 13 hits in the game, 6 runs, 5 RBIs. They had 4 walks and 9 strikeouts. They left 11 men on base. Batting the ball was doubles was Grant Matthews, Frankie Neiman, Trevor Minder, and Ethan Graff hit doubles. RBIs was Minder, Graff, Burns, and Hastings. Sack bunt was Frankie Neiman and Hayden Hastings, and random to a double play was Colin Burns and Hudson Haskin. So that was your fielders. Only errors was Colin Burns and Jonathan Ortiz. The double plays was Jonathan Ortiz, Grant Matthews, and Colin Burns. Okay, you winning pitcher yesterday was Luke Janella. He had 4 2/3 innings. He had 3 hits given up. He had no runs, no earned runs. He gave up 1 walk and struck out 2. Kagan Giles had given up 1 hit, 1 run. 1 of them was earned. No strikeouts, no walks. Trent Johnson got the save. He had 1 strikeout, gave up. Now their pitcher Donovan Benoit had given up 4 hits, 3 runs. 2 of them was earned. He walked 4, struck out 2, so he kind of struggled. Justin Campbell gave up a hit. Adam Grants had 1 walk. Robert Price for Tulane had 1, and that's now Tulane had 6 walks and 5 strikeouts, so they kind of struggled, absolutely struggled yesterday. Yesterday's ball game, so it was a very struggle situation that happened for their baseball team. So once again, Tulane will probably be home this weekend. We'll see where the schedule lies, so we'll give you those in a second. So let me go ahead and click this over. So we did recap the game. So I'm going to give you that schedule in just a second. I'm going to give you the schedule, Tulane schedule throughout the week. So Tulane schedule for this week is going to be UNO that will be at home. That will be on Wednesday night. So it's Tulane will play UNO. And then the weekend series with Middle Tennessee State, 28th through March 1st. So they will play on they'll be out at Turner Stadium for the rest of the week. They will take on Southern. That will be a weekend series. That will be Friday at Turner Stadium, Saturday in Baton Rouge, and back and Sunday at Turner Stadium. So that is for Tulane baseball. Okay, let's go ahead and recap what happened with UNO and Southeastern. We'll recap that for you. Okay, let's recap what happened with UNO won 2-1, so we'll give you the recap on this one. Game recap for UNO and Arkansas State. Okay, UNO wins 2-1. Your winning pitcher was Colin Corbin, that's Kullblban. He was the winning pitcher. Jacob Lumpkin was the save recipient. He had 1 save for UNO. Let's go ahead and give you the scoring summary for UNO. UNO did score in the top of the 8th. It was a single by Murphy that made it. They did score. Also, Pace Howard hit a home run that was on a 1-2 pitch to right field. So that was their only score. That was in the 9th inning. UNO wins 2-1 in the ball game. UNO had 5 hits, 1 error in the game. So let's give you the box score. UNO, we'll give you a UNO box score. Gage Howard went 1 for 4. Jamaican Crane went 0 for 3. Howard, Pace Howard went 1 for 4. Luther Woolett went 2 for 4. Hudson LeBode went 0 for 4. Salah Azo as IZA went 0 for 3. Also, Christian Furr went as Casting Firm. If I'm saying my apology, Casting Firm. I don't want to butcher his name. Went 0 for 1. Also, Jackson Murphy went 1 for 3, and then Darren Willis went 0 for 3 for UNO in their game. So let's give you the pitching recaps. Okay, pitching recap. UNO had given up 3 hits, 1 run, 1 was earned. They walked 3 batters and struck out 6. Bailey Holstein had 4 strikeouts and 2 walks. He gave up 2 hits, 1 run. Christian Porch for UNO had 1 walk. Colin Kubin, if I'm saying his name right, he had 1.5 innings of work. Also, Jacob Lumpkin, if I'm saying his name, it's Lamkin. He gave up, no walks and 2 strikeouts. So it was a complete effort by UNO, but the only wild pitch was Holstein for UNO. So that was their box score. So once again, we recapped UNO. Once again, your final score: Tulane UNO wins 2-1 over Arkansas State. Let's see what their schedule will be this week. We'll give you that schedule for the UNO Privateers. I'm gonna give you the UNO Privateers weekend and give you a baseball schedule for the UNO Privateers. Okay. Okay, they will take on UConn. That will be this this weekend. I think it's UNO baseball. Let's see if I can get the UNO. Can't get that schedule. Let me see if I can get the baseball schedule. Okay, I'll give you the baseball schedule in just a second. Okay, they will have Tulane this Wednesday, and then they'll have UConn on Friday, Saturday, and for their series. That will be UConn. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they'll be in the All-State Sugar Bowl Baseball Classic out at Privateer Park, so it will be this weekend. So, and then they'll take on Alcorn State. So that is the UNO recap. Let's go ahead and give you the Southeastern recap. Southeastern, unfortunately, loses to Jacksonville 8-0. So we'll give you that recap in just a second. Yeah, Southeastern loses the final series of the weekend against Jacksonville by the final of 8-0. Your losing pitcher was Justin Semernick. He's 0-2. So that was the scoring. The scoring summary. We'll give you that scoring summary. Okay. It was all Jacksonville. Jacksonville hit a home run that was in the bottom of the second, top of the second. Top of the second was 1-0, then same inning, single. Then in the top of the fourth, they hit a triple to right field. They did score a run, made it 5-0. And then Dunrue hit a single. Made it 6-0, and then Flowers single to left field. made it 7-0, and then Hunter was hit by a pitch, and there was a score. So once again, that was an 8-0 game. So they did lose 8-0. Was Southeastern. The Southeastern bats were absolutely just sloppy. There was quiet. There was nothing to report. So they didn't have a good day at the plate yesterday. So that was the key. You got to get your hits and stuff like that, and your runs. So that was unfortunately that was a loss, but they will learn from it. Southeastern had 7 walks and 5 strikeouts. They had a very absolute sloppy day pitching as well, so that was just unfortunate for this baseball team to have stuff like that to happen. But it's a young season. That's what it is. It's a very young baseball season. I mean, you can't just sit there and just dwell on these situations, because that's just not going to help your situation at all. So I look at it this way. They got a lot of games. They'll bounce back. They'll bounce back in the season. That's one thing. It's early in the season. It's absolutely early in the 2020 baseball season. So I look at it this way. It's just a loss. They did lose to a good. I mean, this is a pretty good team, but Southeastern got 2 games this weekend in this series. They did win. They did take the series. So that's so like I said, look, you take your bumps and you move on. So once again, this is your college baseball recap from local teams that went on the diamond yesterday. So thanks for joining us here. So let's go ahead and I'll give you. Let's go ahead and give you some Twitter news. Let's go ahead and give you start some Twitter news off with Twitter news reports. We look at Twitter, see what's happening in Twitter universe. So let's go ahead and we'll scroll over to Hoop Central. Hoop Central is a web Twitter site that talks about basketball. So we'll give you some information. Okay, this is Brandon Beal, another 50-point game against the Bucks. He has 55 points. He also has 3 assists, 2 rebounds. He's shooting 57% from the field, and also 61% from the 3-point line. That's happening right now on Twitter. As Washington loses that game. Now the next, Joe Embiid also was unreal tonight. Joe Embiid had 49 points, 14 rebounds. He also had 3 assists, 3 steals, 1 block shot. He shot 70%, but he went 14 for 15 from the free throw line. He went plus 19 in the game. So that's another Joe Embiid. Okay, this was talking about Kobe Bryant, the tribute video to Kobe Bryant. Look, it was an unfortunate situation about what happened to him in that airplane. So hopefully you keep your thoughts and prayers and you keep him in this thought. Now, this is what talk that Bill, according to Bill Simmons, Zion Williamson playing weight is over 300 pounds, but he's averaging 22.8 points a game. He's averaging 7.2 rebounds. He's averaging also 2.3 assists a game, also 58%. That's why I said I don't care if he's overweight. I don't care. I don't give a damn if he's overweight. All I care about is his production. That's all I care about. I don't care about how much weight he's got on him. That doesn't matter. People might think this. People might say, "Oh, he might get injured." Blah 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 blah. No, he's going to get better every single time when he steps on that court, and I see how he does every time. So people can say whatever they want on Twitter, say everything they want on Facebook, and all that stuff, but it's just it's not all true. So that's we're going over some Twitter stuff that's happening on Twitter. This is the Vanessa Bryan discussing the love she had for her daughter. So that was the memorial ceremony. Michael Jordan was at that ceremony. That was one of the greatest players of all time as well, along with Kobe Bryant. So that is from Hoops Central. So we'll go ahead and switch this over. We'll see what's happening on another tweet. We'll give you some more information. Okay, I'm gonna go over to let's go over to Wrestling Inc. Let's see what's happening on Wrestling Inc. Okay, Wrestling Inc. This is the wrestling site. This is Tom is trying hard to make a trophy. That's what they're talking about. Also, R-Truth doing the Xena 5-Knuckle Shuckle. That's on Monday Night Raw tonight. Rusev is out of the gauntlet match at Super Showdown. Super Showdown is this coming Thursday afternoon. That'll be on WWE Network. So this is a lot of good wrestling information. Okay, this is wrestling. This is one of the matches that went on tonight. Rollins and Aleister Black. So once again, this is from Wrestling. Okay, Edge returns to Raw on post Elimination Chamber show. So he's going to be returning. So you'll see him around for a while. There's a lot of information that's coming out about pro wrestling and stuff like that. So once again, this is from WrestlingInc.com. You can go to Wrestling Inc. on Twitter. Let's see what else is going on here on Monday Night Show. Let's see what's happening out here. Okay, let's go to John Kincaid. He's from 680 out in Atlanta. 680 The Fan. John Kincaid is the national host. This is his tweet. Don't tell. Next one is Shaqcast. This is Shaqcast right here. Okay, Shaqcast. He retweeted. Okay, CBS Sports Radio. You can listen to CBS Sports Radio on radio.com. They are talking about all the Red Sox about to get slammed by MLB. That's what they're talking about. That's you can join John Kincaid on CBSSports.com. CBS Sports Radio, excuse me. CBS Sports Radio, that's on right now. You can listen to it on the on Sirius XM 206, or you can listen to it on the radio.com app. So once again, this is from John Kincaid. Okay, let's go ahead and go over to Xavier University. Xavier University Athletics. Okay, Xavier University At Jacksonville, Florida, 21 seconds ago, Gold Rush got a close 8-point second half before Edwin Waters closed with a 79-65 victory. So they will play Dillard on Saturday at the Lakefront Arena. So unfortunately, Xavier loses 79-65. Xavier is still 10-2 in the conference. That's in the GCAC and also in the 22-6 overall. So I'm pretty sure they're going to have a good season. The Xavier Gold Rush. Your leading scorer was Rayshawn Mark with 22 points for Xavier. So also the Xavier women's 2 hours ago did lose to Edmund Waters by the final of 65-61. Your leading scorer was Shalyn Moore with 14. So they will also be playing at the UNO Lakefront Arena as well on Saturday at 3 p.m. That will be on Dillard. So that will be their game. Okay, we'll see what else. Okay, let's see what's happening in NAIA Hoop Report. Okay, NAIA Hoop Report. Okay, we just talked about Xavier Gold Rush. Okay, Paul Aguba is AGBA of Rochester was picked in the first weekly men's award. That's for the WHMC. That's a WHMC. That's an NAIA conference. Okay, at the end of the first half, it's let's see, WBU Tech leading Appalachia Bible. Let's see what they 46-35. Okay, this is from the Sooner Conference, Player of the Week. So congratulations to this young man to getting the Player of the Week. Now this is the NAIA rankings that's out on NAIA.org. This is Anthony Brown with 29 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists. This is from MMU Sports. You can follow them. Okay, the Kansas Collegiate Athletic Conference named Tyler Zen and Noel Brown both to the KCAC Men's Basketball Award for the week. So congratulations to those guys. Okay, the Players of the Week for the Sun Conference. That's in the NAIA. That's Ahmad Gilbert and Taylor Simon from the they captured their awards as well. Congratulations to them. The Southern State Conference Players of the Week for Week 16. CJ Williamson. That's the Players of the Week, and also Faith Shiro. She's congratulations to her as well. This is from NAIA Hoops Report. Also, Bellevue Bruins name Isaiah Bates to let's see, their Player of the Week. So congratulations to him. Also, let's see, Kyle Mangulas is Mangas. It's also your Crossroads Player of the Week. Congratulations to him as well. The Mid-South Conference named, let's see, Mason as the Player of the Week. Scrolling. Okay, these are your NAIA power rankings. This is from another conference, so we're showing you those. Okay, another Player of the Week we need to mention. Let's see, was okay, Liz Henderson. She was named the Player of the Week out of the AMC conference, and also Deshaun Munson as well. So that's your Players of the Week. So the Athletes of the Week was announced by the Crossroads Conference. North Shore Conference, North Star Conference names Isaiah Bates. So once again, that's the young man right there. Now LSU Shreveport Athletics has Cavavions Evans. He was named Player of the Week. That was in the Red River Conference. So congratulations to him. He's from LSU Shreveport. So also Brandy Corwin also was named to the ALL Player of the Week. So congratulations to him. And I think we covered everything here on the okay, home court advantage. This is what we're talking about. This is from JVU Golden Eagles Athletics Department Twitter page. Home court advantage. LSU Shreveport is one of those teams. They're 17-0 at home, 25-3 overall. So that is the NAIA report for this week. Okay, let's see what else we need to talk about. We have to, we'll discuss it. Okay, let me get, go to my Twitter feeds. So I think we covered everything. Okay, that's it. Okay, let's go ahead and shut off. Okay, once again, thanks for joining us here for Monday Night Coaches shows and also the Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer show. We'll be back on Wednesday. Tomorrow's Mardi Gras, so we will be celebrating Mardi Gras down here. So if you're coming down here to New Orleans, please be careful. Do not drink and drive or text and drive. We want everybody to be safe for Mardi Gras. We had a couple of incidents that happened here in the city with the parades and stuff, with people falling off of floats, getting run over floats, and also falling off of balconies. Please use common sense, folks. We don't want anybody getting hurt, getting killed, or wind up ending up in the ER. Where the emergency personnel have to take care of you. So if you're coming to the city, please be careful out here. So once again, thanks for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow night for Tulane versus Tulsa. We'll have that game for you here at 8 p.m. You're on Sportscast Alive. And also Wednesday night, we'll have LSU versus Florida basketball. We'll have that game for you here as well on Wednesday night. So once again, thanks for joining us. Won't have a show tomorrow. We'll have a game in the evening. So once again, everybody have a good rest of your Monday, and we'll see you.